Okay, so here is my little demo scene, and you can see here that the way this is drawn, this box full of water is higher in the air than this wet spot over here. And so we have a situation where you could take a garden hose and you could take water through the garden hose, and if you happen to have a garden hose here, you could run it all the way over here and you could put water out onto this floor with the garden hose. And instead of the garden hose, what we've constructed here is that the water goes through a place where water is converted, or the water tank storage system is converted through a coupling to a garden hose storage system, and then down here the garden hose storage system coupler is connected to a device that converts garden hose into plastic pipe. Then you run through plastic pipe and you get on the other side and you have an absolute duplicate mirror image where plastic pipe goes through a device that converts plastic pipe back down to garden hose, and then the water is in the garden hose again and flows out. And so you have a place where the transmission of water has been changed to transmission of water by pipe. Transmission of water by garden hose, transition, transmission of water by pipe, transmission of water by garden hose. Okay, now we'll go take a look at what we refer to here as Ethernet transceiver 1. And over here is Ethernet transceiver S. And we have drawn in these snaky little copper wires, and data in the form of electrical signal is sent to these copper wires, and the data goes down the copper wires, and when the data gets to Ethernet transceiver 1, Ethernet transceiver 1, if it wants to, can turn itself on, and Ethernet transceiver 1 can send radio frequency that has been modulated to contain the data. The modulation is where the data is encoded onto the radio frequency. And this goes over here to Ethernet transceiver S, and Ethernet transceiver S takes the modulated radio frequency, and Ethernet transceiver S converts that modulated radio frequency into data by unmodulating it and converting the modulation into signal. And then Ethernet transceiver S takes that data and sends it down these copper wires to wherever it was going. And Ethernet transceiver S can say something going back the other direction, and Ethernet transceiver 1 can say something going back the other direction. So back and forth it goes. This acts as a system of data transmission, where interposed in the copper wire is a different way of sending the data around. This is the standard, normal, accepted use of these transceivers. They are used as though you were replacing a piece of garden hose with pipe. They are the pipe. They are creating a transmission capability that does not require wire. And the important thing about the PistonRobot to remember is we are not using these transceivers in this fashion. They do not exist for the purpose of transiting data. In fact, what happens with these transceivers is They are the place where the data starts. They create the data. They are data creation points. And so we are not using them the way they've been designed. And so as you listen to the PistonRobot story, remember when someone says this can't be done because that's not what you do with transceivers. We never said we were using these transceivers as data transit points or as data transfer, data conversion, up conversion, down conversion, transmission systems. That's not what we're using these transceivers for.